one of those movies. It premiered at Sundance, which was amazing, but then it kind of went into the streaming world, and now we get to bring it back here. So, we have a very special lineup of guests tonight, but I'd first like to bring up Mimi. So please we're getting them. We'd also like now to bring out the screenwriter, Lauryn Kahn. We also have a few actors that are going to be joining us today. So maybe we'll start with, like, for those who haven't seen it, like maybe like the worst date in the film. Brett Dier is here. Thank you. We then have like everybody's gonna be like your best friend. You want this person as your best friend. Please welcome Jojo Gibbs. Worst date, and that is played by Sebastian Stan. So we're very happy here. We share lives, we scream at each other. Thank you all for joining us. I have a couple questions, and then we'll get this one started. So the first has to go to you, Lauren. You started this whole wild ride with this story. Can you tell us where this came from, where the seed of the film started for you?
Sure. A few different things, I guess. I always wanted to write a scary movie, but definitely wanted it to have a little levity, so you're not sort of sitting in the darkness the whole time. And I just kind of wanted to tap into the experience of women, just in general, like living in fear all the time of just sizing up danger and leaving your house and where you're parked and you're in a parking garage and things like that. Sort of the everyday horrors, and then kind of just dating and how that's kind of a horror movie in itself. And basically, when to be vulnerable, when to let your guard down, like that whole song and dance. And then I just went to like worst case scenario. And then I just kind of went from there.
Well, we're definitely in for a while ride. That worst case scenario, so thank you for going there. So I'd love to hear from the rest of you. You get this script. Let's start with you, Mimi. What were your first thoughts when you read it? And you're like, I now get to direct it.
Yeah. Oh, is this on? Okay. Thank you. Holy shit. I'm reading the script, but yeah, I think like there's scripts like this don't come along very often when they're unique and bold and sort of a singular voice. And so when you see something like that, even if it scares you, which this definitely did scare me, you have to go for it. And so yeah, I was lucky enough to read the script, talk to Lauren and the other producers about it, and they trusted me to bring it to life.
So what was it like for you three when you first read your character? What was the thing that stood out to you?
Well, hello? Well, he's a major douchebag. And that was exciting. So, yeah, your turn.
Well, I fell in love with the script first. I fell in love with Molly. I thought she was hella relatable. And I just felt like I could be her, you know. Some scripts you read and you're like, I don't know if I can do anything with this, you know. But when I read Fresh, I was just like, I love this character. And then I met Mimi in a general, I was about to say Skype, you don't do that on Zoom, and fell in love with Mimi, and then I was just hella determined to get the role. So I just love the suspense. Y'all see.
I love you. there was just the dancing was the dance, I like to dance. You know, you just have to maybe hold a knife while you do it, and the rest is okay.
Okay, but a little bit more from you, Sebastian. You get to play kind of many different facets of a
Don't
human
give it
being.
away.
I'm not giving away. You get to explore a spectrum of personalities, maybe.
Right.
Can you talk about that? And the process?
Yeah, I mean, you know, people don't always turn out to be who they say they are, and that's kind of what happened here, I guess. I don't know. It was such a unique, clever script. You know, it was really different, and it was just exciting and unpredictable in ways. And then Mimi's vision with it was just undeniable. So it worked out.
Oh yeah. Mimi, speaking of maybe the dancing, we won't give anything away, but there's a very much like a musicality to the film that you're all gonna see. Can you talk about that and that approach to the work?
I think that in reading a script, you're always looking for the clues of how it comes to life. Lauryn had a lot of musical cues in the script that sort of like led me into taking that as an inspiration and really kind of infiltrating the whole film with lots of specific music. So I think that this story is so kind of out there, but also very real in a way, and I think that music is a way for us to ride on the journey and not, and still have fun with it, which is kind of strange to say. After you see it, you'll know.
Mm-hmm. And Lauryn, did you have any musical references within the script, or was that?
We had a couple songs that we both agreed we were gonna like fight for, and then some things kind of evolved as they went, and the vision changed, and it ended up elevating it in ways that we didn't expect. Well, with Mimi's vision, and there's like one song that we sort of knew we wanted beforehand. That's an 80s sort of pop song, and we wanted to make sure we had that to kind of feel it out in the scene, because a lot of times we can't get clearance until after. So some songs stuck, and then some songs sort of evolved and changed, but it's got sort of a little bit of a throwback vibe in certain ways, and that you'll see that is sort of a good juxtaposition of fun and terrifying.
Were there other cinematic or maybe artistic references that both of you worked with when you were kind of putting this together?
I would say, the type of movie that you'll see that it is, we didn't want to fall into stereotypes of representations of certain ideas or roles, and so I think I actually did a lot of research on how similar films and characters were represented in the past and tried to steer clear of those.
Oh, okay.
So I think that, weirdly it was kind of trying to do something slightly different.
I guess maybe a final thing before we get started. What is it like to revisit a film that you've now made a couple of years ago to continuing sold out shows? What's that like for you?
I will just say that, this film was meant to be seen in the theater. So, and it's meant to be seen with people, and that's really how it was designed to be viewed. So this is very special for all of us, and that's all I'll say about that.
Same. It's really nice to see with an audience. That's what we kind of always wanted, and felt like it deserved. We had these test screenings, and they had so much excitement in them, and then obviously COVID. So things happen, but people found it on streaming. But it is so fun and exciting to see it with audiences.
I mean, I will say, you've made what would be soon to be a classic within, I think, the horror genre, especially what you're doing with gender stereotypes and, using certain storylines that I think it will kind of solidify itself in the genre, beyond just the genre of horror. And therefore, what we're excited about at Vidiots, kind of as a repertory house, is that this film will hopefully play again and again and again. So. demand. And to veer us off a little bit before we get into Fresh, because we always like to ask this of everybody to put you on the spot, because we are a physical media organization. Having just been in the video store, tell us a film that maybe your favorite horror film.
Wasn't there a Good Night Mommy?
Yes!
Has anyone seen that?
I have! Both of them.
Terrifying. Yeah, no, that was one that came out. I mean, The Shining's always a thing. The first Scream was pretty good. I don't know if that's. Mimi's like, hey.
Anyone else?
Can you do one? No, I'm not good at talking. As you see, my answer was really short before. Nightmare on Elm Street.
My favorite is Let the Right One In. Let the Right One In, if you haven't seen the original.
The original.
Yeah, this is more recent of one that I just was like super excited about, which is Barbarian. That's kind of fun horror that I really.
Wait, and Talk to Me. Talk to Me.
Basically, now, jump in earlier. The first one I ever saw was Chucky, so you're right.
Yeah, that's
They're still making Chucky.
They're still making
Now they make Megans.
I worked at a movie theater when Blair Witch.
That was a good one. That was like a pivotal movie for a generation.
That was big.
Yeah. All of those movies you can rent at the video store. So with that, a big thank you to the team of Fresh. So big round of applause.
Please enjoy Fresh.